So, Phil recruited me to sell these cards, and now I am recruiting you.
Who is this guy again?
Don't worry about Phil. He drives a Corvette. He is doing just fine.
Hello, my friends of the internet. How are we doing? Hey, everybody, how y'all doing tonight? I'm trying to get the Bubba cam at the right angle, but he's on the farthest corner of the bed for literally what reason? I don't know. And I can't, the cord is like stuck. Okay, maybe that's good. You can see the back of my chair, but you get what you get and you don't get upset. Hi, everybody. Thank you so much for those of you that jumped on early. Harrison says, never too early to get rich. I apologize for the last minute shift in the schedule, but I have rich people things to do later, and it just didn't accommodate my schedule to go live at 4 p.m. So anyways, I'm glad that a lot of you seem to have been able to make it. Monica's here, Harrison, Marie, Hillary, Claire, Phoenix, Lori, everybody's here. Party is started. Today, we are going to be listening to literally a podcast called The Business Coaching Podcast. Love it. Love the originality. Excellent title. You know what? Honestly, that's not a snark. I really love the like straight to the point. This is what you're going to get. However, that being said, do I believe that what we're actually going to listen to is true business coaching? Probably not. I digress. Okay, there was something I wanted to say before we got started, but I don't remember what that was. My brain is going about 8,000 miles a minute right now because it's still the middle of my workday, and guess what I was doing about 5 minutes before I hopped on here? I was working. So I need to like zone it in. Beverage of choice today, coffee, because it's only 1 p.m. and I've only had one coffee today. So apparently I need another one. Anyway, okay. The downline is happy to accommodate. You know what? That's why you pay me, so I can tell you what to do, right? Okay. Love to see it. I'm on time for once. Well, maybe we can, play with this time if people prefer it earlier in the day. The poll was pretty close. I will say the 1 p.m. time slot was winning the entire time, but only by like 1 or 2 votes. I know for those of you that watch from Australia, this probably isn't the best time. But maybe if we did like a 2 p.m. start, I don't know. I'm open to suggestions, feedback, whatever works for everyone else is fine with me. Me and the sleeping baby on top of me say hi, everyone. Hopefully you didn't have any plans to move because you can't because the baby's asleep. Here during work hours, that's what we love. It's called double dipping. Fun story about me that I can share now that I don't work there anymore. When I had my 9-to-5 job, and I might have already shared this, let's be honest. I talk about everything on the internet. I worked in like municipal government and my job was really easy. And I would get all my work done by like Tuesday. So Monday I would work, 8 hours. Tuesday, 8 hours. All my work was done by Tuesday. And what I would do for the rest of the week was build the blog for my business that I was starting. I had like a separate blog as well. I used to have a podcast and I would like build the blog for my podcast the other 3 days of the week. And then when I finally decided I was going to quit and start a business, I used that time to build the website for my business and my blog and all of that. So that's my confession for the week. And Zip here has confessed theirs. So if you want to share your confessions in the chat, let me know. For me, it's better. Yeah, I figured the people that watch in Europe, this is probably ideal because it's not the middle of the night. I don't know what time it is, but it's not like midnight, I don't think. So the only ones that this will kind of suck for is the ones in Australia because I think it's like 5 a.m. there right now. But maybe we'll do both. Maybe we'll do 2. Suzanne, what time is it? Tell me. Maybe we can do multiple streams in a week. You know what? Why not just add more to my plate? I just love yapping. So bye, hello, and goodbye. Think of how many cold DMs you could have sent Wednesday to Friday. Just don't mindset your big 100 enough. It's really a missed opportunity that I wasn't cold DMing people in the 3 days of time that I had on the clock. 4 p.m. here is perfect. Okay, I love it. All right, that's enough of just yippity yapping about absolutely nothing. I'm going to share my screen. And we're going to get started. So as you can tell by the title, this is a choose your own adventure, which means those of you in the chat are going to collectively decide which episodes we're going to listen to, because each episode is only like 8 to 12 minutes long. And I have about an hour and a half to kill, maybe even close to 2 hours. So we could get through a lot of content today if you guys are up for it. Before we do that, let me just ask you to do this one thing.
Raise your hand if you want to get rich.
Please raise your hand if you want to get rich. I'm ready to get rich. Whoops, I already clicked on something. So this is the podcast. These are the episodes. Let's have a little look. Wait, did I share my screen? No, I didn't. I'm a little dumb. Okay, let me pull the chat up on the screen too. Okay, so here we are. We're back. Bubba, I'm just going to move him for a second while we pick what episode we're going to listen to. Okay, so have a little gander here. Start typing in the chat which episode sounds interesting to you. I was kind of thinking we could start with this one right here, what I do every single day to grow my business, because obviously we're all really looking to get super, super rich. But there's also the opportunity to learn $6,000 cash months. At any point in time, you can decide what, I'm not sure. How I went to $1 million. Guys, there's so much good content here, so feel free to let me know in the chat where you want to start. And if yours doesn't get picked right away, don't worry. Like I said, we have 2 hours, so we could listen to all of them. Okay, anything but the election. Yeah, this is a moment. I want to give a moment of silence for my American friends tomorrow. I'll be thinking of you. And if anyone needs a couch to crash on, call me. I'm just kidding. Please don't call me. Okay, Suzanne votes $6,000 cash month. You know what? That sounds like a pretty good one. We get to choose our own Yap Fest. Yes, I love it. Okay, so far we have one vote. And if that's the one, that's the one. Like I said, we can watch all of them. Okay, so this comment is saying she isn't getting a lot of views. I'm curious if anyone knows the answer to this question. So, like, when I used to host a podcast, I hosted it on SoundCloud, and then I later switched it to, I don't know, something else, Podbean or Lisbon, something like that. Anyway, SoundCloud would track all streams on any platform. So if I fed the RSS feed to Google Podcasts at the time, Apple, whatever, any podcasting platform, it would all count into the number of like listens that episode had. With YouTube, if I'm using YouTube to feed my like podcast, would the views on the video sorry, I'm not asking this well. Would every listen on a podcast platform count as a view on the video, or is it tracked separately? Does anyone know the answer to this question? Okay, we're in a portal. How my household went from 5K to 1 million, 0 to 1 million. Okay, so let's do this. Let's start with 0 to 1 million. Where is that one? Or yeah, how my household went from 5K to 1 million. Then we'll listen to $6,000 cash months. Then we'll listen to We're in a Portal. That's the plan for now. Drop any other ones you want to hear in the chat. I'm actually kind of curious about this one because I'm pretty sure this woman has me blocked on Instagram. But anyway, I digress. Let's go ahead and give it a listen.
How you move when no one's watching determines the success you're going to get when everyone is watching. Okay, I could end this audio right there.
Okay, just pausing for a second to acknowledge Suzanne's comment. Thank you for that insight. I'm wondering if that's what this person does too.
That could be the entire audio mini training here. How you move when no one is watching determines the success you're going to get when everyone is watching. Your moves behind the scenes, your saying yes to yourself, determines the success in the long game. So something that I realized that cracked my soul open this morning was 3 years ago, this exact week, I was setting up in a spare bedroom a bunch of cardboard boxes, stacking them on top of one another to host one of my first 3-day challenges. I had never done a challenge before. I didn't know really what a challenge was. I learned and studied how to do it. I was like, I'm going to do this. And I was so scared. And I panicked before and I shook on the live. And I was like, I'm just going to try this. I have nothing to lose. And I spent an entire day writing out my whole script and slides for this presentation. And I did day 1, and it was extraordinary. And then I did day 2, and it was extraordinary. And then on day...
Is she recording this outside? I know this is probably getting tired for those of you that watch every one of my streams. But I think it's because when I do the streams, I'm wearing headphones. So the sound is like very concentrated. There is like the ever so slightest playing in the background of this. Listen, this is just advice for anyone, unsolicited advice for anyone that ever wants to create any kind of content. Most recording platforms, whether it is you're editing in like Final Cut, iMovie, you're doing audio in GarageBand, Audi, what's the one I used to, Auto something, there's some free one that I used to use. Anyway, Audacity. Any of those platforms typically have a feature that you can click. It's a small button, one single button called sound isolation. And it isolates the sound of your voice so that you don't get any background noise. No humming, no nothing. So please use it, because there is nothing more annoying to me as a listener to have to hear the whole time you're talking. Again, it's driving me crazy.
Day 3, it was actually the same, it was on a Thursday, and so it was the same day 1.
Not to mention, it kind of sounds like she's outside, or maybe she's recording in front of a fan. I don't know. There's some like wind noise as well.
Of this conference that I was attending in Florida. It was the first conference that I ever went to 3 years ago this exact week. Actually, Freedom Queen Live is the same weekend as my first ever conference I went to. Coincidence? I think not. And so I went to the conference, scared, didn't have the money. I put it on a credit card. It was a couple $1,000s just for the tickets. Didn't even have any money in my business at the time. And I was terrified, and I had to do day 3, the pitch from my hotel room.
Okay, I hate this already. So this is the same concept I talk about in the majority of my content. This idea of people like this wanting to paint a specific picture for you so that A, you feel like you can relate to them, but B, they use it, in my opinion, as a manipulation tactic to get you to buy their program. So I made my investment when I had no money. I ran my first 3-day training when I wasn't even making any money, and I had to put everything on a credit card, and I was so far in debt, and I was so poor, and now I'm so rich, and the only way I got rich is because I spent money when I didn't have money. So you should spend your money because you don't have the money, but it'll come back to you because I'm rich, so you're going to be rich. That's what, in my opinion, she's implying.
And so I'm in my hotel room, selling the offer. I'm running down to the conference room, listening, because I never wanted to leave the conference room. I just wanted to stay in the conference room the entire time. You know, I wanted to be there. I was like, I'm there. But when I had to do a sales call, I'd run back up to my hotel room and I would do the sales call, and then I would close the sale and I would dance it up and down and be like, I'm doing it. And anyways, I did so many that weekend was a $35,000 weekend. And it was like the first weekend where I realized I can do this. I'm going to make it. I'm going to do it. I'm a real business owner. I'm making money. $35,000. This is awesome. And that was just 3 years ago. Because after that conference, I went on to do more and more edge work. So I went on to do the scary things even more.
Yeah, I'm confused. Monica's saying word salad with no actual advice. I'm confused as to what the point of this is. To me, it just sounds like she's bragging. But in the title, it's, how I did this. But instead, it's just I hosted a training and then I became rich. Hope you enjoyed this 8-minute episode or 6-minute episode of me bragging about myself. What's the point?
And went on to host my first retreat. And then I invested in a year-long mentorship. And then I kept going and going and going and going. I was always looking for the new mountaintop to reach. But what's so crazy is that was just 3 years ago. This exact week, I was preparing to go to my first conference. And this exact week, 3 years later, I'm preparing to host my first conference. But through all of it, I was afraid. Through all of it, I was terrified. Through all of it, I felt like, what if it's not possible? What if it doesn't work? You're not qualified to be there. You don't have the money to be there. And even at like the second and third year of going to the conferences, even when I was making great money, all of those things still came up, even though I was such an advanced business owner at that time.
Suzanne says, I've hosted many trainings, never made $35,000 from one of them. Maybe you're not believing hard enough in yourself and you didn't manifest the true capabilities that you have or are capable of.
Even like the ones where I made 7 figures. I shared earlier in a chat that recently I went to a conference and I didn't even really feel like going because it was like so inconvenient. Like I had to move everything around to be in that room, and I'm so glad that I went because it changed so much for me. It changed so much. I did not want to go at all. It was inconvenient. I had to take the craziest flight. Robbie and I had to sleep in a minute suites in a hotel. Do you know what a minute suites is? Do you know what those are? It's like you rent a hotel room in the hotel for an hour to sleep. Like it was so.
Great question. Monica says, advanced business owner in what exactly? I was wondering the same thing when she said, I wasn't making any money, but I was a very advanced business owner because I had ideas and I thought it would be nice to make $8 million. So I'm pretty advanced in my thinking, which actually makes me really advanced as a business owner because that's how it works. It doesn't matter how much money you make. It's how much money you believe you're capable of making.
So nuts, but we did it. Because we're willing to do things that are uncomfortable, that aren't convenient. And that's why Robbie has a business that generates $500,000, $700,000 cash months. My business generates $300,000 cash months. Like our combined income is nearly $1 million cash per month. Why? Robbie also was this.
Wait. Your combined income or your business's combined income? Because there's a big difference here that I feel so many of these coaches don't want to touch on. And that's the fact that your business could be making $1 million, but you might only be taking home 40 grand. In fact, I believe it was Suzanne. You can verify in the comments, please. You were sharing, or you shared a podcast episode with me of a woman who was talking about how her business made something like $750,000, but she literally took home, I think it was 40 or 50,000. So if you have insanely high or insanely low profit margins, high or low, if your profit margin is very small, is what I'm trying to say, you might not actually be making that much money. Your business can make a ton of money, but if you're spending all that money on ads to make that money, then you're not really making that money. You know what I mean? Like, I don't find it super impressive when people try to equate their business's income as their personal income, because I know that's not the truth.
The same person 3 years ago when we were at that conference. We had nothing. We had literally nothing. We had nothing. And now I'm sending you this audio message from my second cell phone in the pool while staring at my house, and Robbie took our car to the gym. Okay, so it's like,
guys, I'm so rich. I own 2 cell phones. Did you hear that? I just wanted to emphasize that I'm not on my first cell phone, because why have just one cell phone when you could have 2? And instead, I have my pool cell phone, which is the phone that I take to the pool. And then I have my indoor cell phone, which is my other cell phone, because I have 2, because I'm so rich. And I just wanted to flex that in case you didn't believe that I was rich. Now you know, because I own 2 cell phones. Therefore, wealthy. 2 phones is the key to wealth. Write that down.
You have to move. Even when it's inconvenient. Even when none of it makes absolutely any sense.
Wait. Marette says they only have 1 car. I also want to know, if I was so rich making $1 million a month, wouldn't I just take an Uber, have a driver? I wouldn't be driving. Do you know how much I would love to not have to drive myself places? This morning, I wanted to go to the gym. And it was pouring rain because I live in Vancouver. Like, literally raining so hard to the point where, like, the streets were kind of flooded. But I was like, I can't use this as an excuse. I have to drive. I really hate driving in the rain. I don't know why. I find it hard to see, even with the wipers. So, and it's dark, and, like, I just don't like it. If I was rich, the point of my story is I would have just called an Uber to drive me to the gym. I wouldn't even have a car if I was so rich, making $1 million. Me and my partner were making combined over $1 million a month. You best believe that I would have a driver. Not to mention, I concur, I believe, I deduce, I suspect, based on what I've observed of this particular individual, I don't think she lives in North America, like, or in the US or Canada. She lives in like Costa Rica or Thailand, where the cost of living is lower, and you could afford to take an Uber everywhere, right? Like when my partner is Mexican, he's from Mexico City. When we go to visit his family, the traffic in Mexico City is like so insane. And we don't want his parents to have to like drive out of the city to the airport to come get us. We'll take an Uber. And like a 2-hour long Uber is like $30. So like if you're in a different country that's not Canada, not the US, you could just pay someone to drive you to the gym is the point of my story. I mean, you could do it in Canada too. It would probably cost me $10, but like I'm not spending $10 a day to go to the gym. I'll just drive myself. But the point is, that's not really a flex. To say you have 2 phones but only 1 car. I absolutely agree. Sorry, that was a really weird tangent that I took us on. I apologize. Why record off a phone and not a professional studio? Great question. It's because we live the freedom laptop lifestyle here and we're working from the pool. So I'm not bringing my Shure microphone to the pool. Although it would be fun. I'm just imagining myself sitting on a floaty with my silly little microphone, yapping. That could be fun. That could be content, baby. Content, baby, content. But unfortunately, I'm not rich enough to own a pool, so couldn't be me. The weather was bad this morning. I'm on the island. Yeah, was it really windy? Because about an hour ago, sorry, side tangent. We're just kind of going everywhere today. If you hate it, thumbs down the stream. I was recording a video for a client of mine about an hour ago, and oh my God, I thought the windows on my apartment were going to explode. It was so windy, and then the sun came out, so I don't know what's happening. I would have a nice car I love to drive. See, I love that for you. Couldn't be me, though. I need to get rich so I can hire a driver to drive me around. Honestly, I walk or bike most places, but the gym is just a touch too far from my house, so I have to drive. Alas. Okay, what did we say was next? 600K per month or something? Creating 600K cash. That was fun. So far we haven't learned anything, so my hopes for this next episode we're going to listen to are pretty low. But let me know what you guys are thinking in the chat.
Hello, Freedom Queen. Welcome back to the podcast. I am, first of all, blown away by No Matter What November Challenge. You all are moving and reviewing and sharing and blowing up the podcast. So thank you for doing that. Keep doing that. Keep sharing it. Reminder, one person's going to get selected.
I'm being snarky, but blowing up the podcast when it has 15 views and 0 likes. Alas, she's probably streaming. I will give her the benefit of the doubt that she's streaming on other episode or other platforms. I know this woman has like a fairly decently sized audience on TikTok and Instagram. So I do imagine people actually listen to her podcast, like more than 15 people, I mean.
For a Ticket to Freedom Queen Live on Monday in November. I believe it's the 18th. The winner will be selected. If you already have Ticket to Freedom Queen Live, what's going to happen is you're going to get some potent one-to-one time with me. And I'm really excited about this giveaway.
So to clarify, her like brand persona is called Freedom Queen. That's what she like calls herself. So she has a membership, I believe, called like Freedom Queens or Freedom Queen membership. I don't know, something like that. And then she hosts this live event each year, I think maybe she just started it this year, but it's called Freedom Queen Live. So it's like a live event where all of her like mastermind clients come and people can buy tickets and, you know, they all get indoctrinated into the Freedom Queen lifestyle.
It's really high level quality time together, which is important. And someone asked if you're not in the US, well, we have a lot of clients that are coming to Freedom Queen Live that aren't in the US. So Australia, UK, like China, literally all over the world. So if you're not in the US, you still get a ticket to Freedom Queen Live. And if you can't make it for whatever reason that weekend, give it to somebody that would really benefit from being there. So what I want to talk with you about today is giving yourself permission to dream really big for the rest of this year. Not in a way because you need to, not because you need to hit a milestone or you need to please somebody or you need to get your ego in check, but because you can. Dream big.
Okay, this woman talks so slowly. I thought I had it at 1 point. I do have it at 1.25. I gotta go faster. I can't. There's so many pauses. You guys know how this drives me frickin' cuckoo bananas.
Big because you can. I was talking with Robbie, who's speaking at Freedom Queen Live, and he's having super high months in his business, and he's going to be talking about that at Freedom Queen Live. And he said something to me the other morning. We were doing a debrief on one of his highest months ever.
Okay, is Robbie her partner? Does anyone know? That's what I kind of deduced from the last episode that we listened to. But I'm confused. Are they in business together? Do they have any? Does anyone know the lore of this woman? Does he have a coaching business? Who's Robbie?
And he said something to me. He said, I approached the throne with boldness, meaning I prayed to God, not for small. I didn't pray to God for minimal results. I prayed and approached the throne with boldness. I asked for big numbers. Did you think that God can't create $1 million month for you? It's God. Do you think that God can't create a $500,000 month for you? It's God. You're asking the creator of the universe for chump change. When God's like, do you know who I am and what I can do? Do you know?
Okay, now we're getting into faith manipulation, which is not something I had on my bingo card this evening. I'm confused because I've reacted to quite a bit of this woman's content in like shorter form. A lot of my like reaction videos, I've had like TikToks of hers sent to me, that kind of thing. And I've never heard her mention God. So this is new and I don't like it. I really don't like the idea. I'm not a religious person, but I can respect people that have religious beliefs. And those of you that are in the comments that are Christian or followers of God, please let me know. I don't think this came up in the comments on the video I did about the like religious MRR that was happening. I don't know if Harrison or Suzanne, one of the mods, can go and find the link to that video. But in the comments of that video, people were criticizing me because I made a comment about, I don't really think that like getting super rich is in the Bible. I don't think that like God wants you to be overwhelmingly wealthy, right? But people were essentially saying something to the effect of like, well, God wants you to be prosperous and to have abundance and blah, 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 blah. To me, there's a difference between like, if you believe in God, like believing that God wants you to have a like good life, a prosperous life, you know, have some money, be comfortable, versus God wants you to get really, really rich. Like, I don't think that's in the Bible, but maybe, I don't know. And I'll admit I'm wrong if I'm wrong. Exactly. God will create infinite wealth and 1,000,000% inflation if you believe hard enough. I don't get it. Wasn't Jesus all about helping the poor? And that's the thing I don't understand is like, okay, if we're all believing that like God wants us to be super rich, then why isn't everyone just super rich? Are the poor people ones that like they just don't believe hard enough? I don't get the argument. Thank you, Harrison. Harrison has shared the link to the MRR, Master Resell Rights, specifically targeted at like Christians and people of faith. Very, very icky in my opinion. Yeah, what if you don't believe in God? What if you have different religious beliefs? That's why I find it interesting that she's bringing this up, because I consumed a lot of her like early content, again, because I was using it in reaction videos, and nowhere did it mention that. So I find it interesting that she grew a big following just talking about like, here's how to make money, here's how to believe your way to wealth, da-da-da-da-da. And now to incorporate God into it seems weird from a marketing perspective to me, because I feel like you're going to isolate a segment of your audience that isn't a believer, right? Like if I followed you because I thought you were giving me financial advice, but then all of a sudden you're making it about God, I would kind of be like, maybe this isn't the right mentor for me because I'm not religious. But that's just my belief. Thank you. Suzanne says it's in the top 5% according to listen notes, so she gets more listeners than watchers on YouTube. Okay, that's kind of what I figured. Just because of the size of her audience, it didn't make sense that she would only get like 15 people listening. Okay, here we go. Hillary says prosperity gospel is basically cherry picking Bible verses to justify wanting to be rich. The actual message throughout the Bible is putting God above all else, especially money. Thank you. Thank you for the fact checking. I'm like, I don't think that's what God said, but then people were telling me in the comments that I was wrong. So maybe I don't know something. Okay, prosperity isn't purely defined by money or accumulation of wealth in the Bible, but I'm assuming what people do is they like take that and they twist it to only apply to wealth. Is that the assumption here? Holly says, I'm a Christian. My challenge with this type of marketing is tying your specific way, like your program or MLM or MRR, as being what God has for you as a way to get rich. Yeah, that's what I don't really like is like, again, if I was someone who was a religious person, I might take offense to the fact that you're telling me that God wants you to do this. Because, like, what if I don't want to do that? Does that make me a bad believer? Like, I don't like it. Marie says, I can't give exact quotes in English, but it's plenty of passage in the Bible that you should not get rich off other people's work. Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, everyone, for the lesson. Let's continue.
Know who you are? So he said, I approached the throne with boldness. Where aren't you approaching your business with courage? Where are you saying, sure, making 10K this month would be great. Yeah, that's great, but that's not what you're really capable of. What you're actually capable of is a whole other level. What you're actually capable of is extraordinary. What you're actually capable of is doing anything you want. What if you started asking for that? What if you started playing in the frequency of, ooh, what if this month was what's a stretch goal for you? 50,000, 100,000, 500,000, a million, multiple millions? What's that number for you that's like, ooh, this gets me going? What is that number? And why aren't you asking for it? Why ask for 10 when you can ask for 100? Why ask for 100 when you can ask for a million? Why ask for a million when you can ask for 10 million? It stretches.
That logic is stupid. Allegedly, in my opinion. Why ask for $10 when you could ask for 20? Why ask for 20 when you could ask for 50? Why ask for 50 when you could ask 100? Why ask for, like, go away. I'm just going to ask for $8 quadrillion million billion dollars at this point. Like, what are you saying?
Is your brain capacity. It gets you thinking in a different way. When I first came into the online space, and even to this day, something that really blows my mind is how small people dream. One of the reasons I like to go to in-person conferences is because typically people that go to in-person events, they're hyper committed, and they usually have bigger conversations than make 10K months. The conversations are scaling to multi-8-figure, 9-figure brands, companies. The conversation.
You want to know the conversations that these people are actually having? They're talking about like concepts of the world, and they're not talking about, I want to scale my business to $8 million and then to $80 million and then to $8 billion. That's not the conversations they're having. They're talking about the systems and the concepts that are going to, yes, perhaps lead them to be able to make more money. But they're not sitting around going, I want to be a millionaire. No.
The caliber is so much higher. I'll never forget the first conference I went to. They were talking about making $100 million. And then I would go into the online space and see how to make 10K months. And I was like, something is off here. We are having two very different conversations about the world right now. Like, what is going on? And I realized how important it was then to surround yourself with people that think bigger than you. Because you'll naturally take on other people's ceilings. You will.
Okay, this is something that I talked about in my most recent upload, and I don't necessarily disagree with this sentiment. I think that there is a lot of power in understanding what other people are like up to, what they're capable of, that kind of thing, in order to expand your own belief. I believe in the video I shared the example of like my first 9-to-5 job that I thought paid really well until I talked to a friend of mine who was essentially making double what I was making, and realizing like, oh, I could actually get a job that pays way more money. And then making friends with other people who were making, even 3 times more than that. And it's like, there is value in understanding like what other people have achieved in order to expand your own belief in what's capable for you. However, that being said, just because you are aware that something is possible doesn't then mean that that thing is going to happen for you. So I'll just pick on Harrison because he's here in the chat. Let's say Harrison builds his fitness coaching business, or personal training business, fitness coaching. Personal training business to $1 million, and I want to become a personal trainer. Just because he built it to $1 million doesn't all of a sudden mean that, well, I'm going to be a personal trainer, I'm also going to make $1 million. The possibility of something does not equal the likelihood of something, right? It's like they tend to miss that piece, and they make it sound like, well, if you just get in the room with the people who are really rich, you're just also going to become rich through osmosis. When the reality is, for the majority of people, statistically speaking, you're likely not going to be able to duplicate their success or replicate it to the same level.
And so if you get around the great expanders, you get around people that think really big, you stay plugged in to the Freedom Queen podcast all month long in November, you're going to explode. So for example, for me, in the month of November, my team and I have given ourselves a challenge of what we're calibrating to and dreaming of is $600,000 cash month. $600,000 cash month. Okay? So then we strategize. Content, what does that look like? Lead gen, what does that look like? Offers that we're selling, what does that look like? Influential leadership and magnetism, what does that look like? And then we go and move. And look, here's the thing. If you don't hit that number that I asked you to dream about this month, if I don't hit $600,000 cash this month, you think I'm going to be sad? No. I'm going to be so proud of myself for going for it, because that's what this really is. That's what I'm truly obsessed with. I'm truly obsessed with human potential. I'm truly obsessed with seeing how far you can really go and what you're actually capable of. And so that's what I want you to play into today. I want you to play into, what's a number this month that's like, okay, that is activating. That's actually a match for who you really are. And I want you to approach the throne with boldness. I want you to expect that it is going to happen. I want you to pray and ask and receive that you are going to do that and have the time of your life while doing it. So Freedom Queen, I'm really excited about this month. There's something, I just sense it. I'm feeling this weird feeling in my body. It feels so good right now as I'm saying this. It's here. It's here. Hello, nice to meet you. And by the way, in the next day or so, I'm going to be changing the name of the podcast from the Business Coaching Podcast to Freedom Queen. So when you're searching for the podcast, make sure that you now Google or search in Spotify or Apple Freedom Queen, because that's going to change. So make sure that you look for that. And we're getting some new branding done because we are elevating Freedom Queen for a multi-8-figure per year cash brand. Let's get it.
Okay, that was a weird ending. I just feel like every episode she says stuff, but she's not really saying anything, and then it just ends. There's no like, let's tie it all back together. Let's come back to what we were talking about. It's just blah, 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 end. Okay, before we listen to the next one that we had decided, I just want to go to this website, Freedom Queen Live. And see what, freedomqueenlive.com. Oh, so I guess the website must have expired. She didn't pay for the domain for another year. If anyone wants to go buy it, let's see. How funny would that be? Oh, okay, no. So she does have it. It's just not active right now. Should I buy the Canadian version? Make a fake sales page? That could be fun. Oh, Danielle. Yeah, weird ending. Glad it wasn't just me that thought that. I was like, okay. They're not even like a goodbye, I'll talk to you next time. Take care, comb your hair. Marie says, if you find people in a real business / occupation similar to yours, you can absolutely make each other better. But being in a room full of scammers and being the best scammer is not a goal of mine. Absolutely agree. I actually got invited to attend a conference in the spring. Those of you that follow me on Instagram might remember this. It's called Startup Canada Live, and it's like a conference for startups and business owners. And it was super cool to get to go and connect with other business owners, other people that work in marketing, content, that kind of thing. And I learned a lot in like the 8 hours that I was there. I met some really cool people. I've made some like really good friends just from that single day long experience. So there's definitely value in like networking, connecting with other people doing your thing. But I just think in this context where they're like, you have to be in the room with people who are more successful than you, it's just a way to get you to buy into their container, in my opinion. Ah, Holly, my hero. Holly says Wayback Machine. What a great idea. Okay. Wayback Machine. Let's see. So for those of you that aren't familiar, the Wayback Machine lets you go to websites of the past. You can see people's former websites. And let's see. freedomqueenlive.com. Okay. So, September 16th. Weird that it was only active for like a day. What? Okay, it's loading. Does she own that coat or did she rent it? I have thoughts. Okay, here we go. It's working. Holly, thank you. Great idea. Let me just turn off the Bubba Cam for a sec. Okay, I'm going to assume that it looked better than this when it was actually a website. The thing about Wayback is that sometimes the formatting gets messed up, so just keep that in mind. Okay, get your invite here. Spots are limited. When you get your tickets before September 18th, you get an exclusive, never-before-seen training on how to be confident in the conference from Stephanie Ann Hewson. For those of you that aren't familiar, that's XO Gingy, very popular in the Life Coach Snark subreddit. She is a downline of Melanie Ann Layer, and then this particular Freedom Queen woman that we're looking at is under XO Gingy. So we have Mal at the top, Stephanie, and then Freedom Queen. And then, you know, a cajillion other people under that. So too bad we missed our chance to get our early tickets because now we're going to miss out on that really great training, I'm sure. The only 4-day live event to create a high-end movement, grow to high cash months, and become an influential leader, the event of the year. So it happened the last week of September in Tampa. And Freedom Queen Live is not a conference. It's a gateway to your next level in business. You will enter this event as a business owner who knows what you're capable of, but haven't yet tapped into your power. And you will leave knowing the strategies that's going to take your business to levels that you dreamed of and leave being the one. What does this mean? When you leave this event, you will completely transform into the business owner that is always on fire, tapped into magic, and knows how to build a multi-million-dollar company. Freedom Queen Live is for coaches, mentors, and guides, service providers, designers, planners, photographers, videographers, team members, partners, husbands, your clients and community, content creators, influencers, community creators and movement makers, visionaries, dreamers, people who love making the world feel alive, storytellers, mindset, business, life coaches. It's for everyone. In case you were wondering whether or not this, I was going to call it a conference, but apparently it's not a conference. In case you were wondering if Freedom Queen Live is for you, the answer is yes. If you have 2 feet and a heartbeat, you should hand over all your money. Meet your speakers. Okay, our speakers were selected to teach you how to build not just any coaching business, but a high-end movement that brings in recurring revenue and leaves a legacy. Leave as a movement maker. So there's a networking party on the Thursday, and then Friday is speakers and a workshop, and then Saturday you'll build your high-end movement and walk the stage at the Freedom Queen Award ceremony. Okay, this is all coming back to me. This particular coach, I believe, used to go to, somebody in the chat might have to help me. I believe it's ClickFunnels, where they hand out the like records. They're like black records if you make like $1 million or whatever. So I believe this woman used to go to those conferences because I remember seeing it in like her About Me story. So now what she's done is created her own event like the ClickFunnels Summit thingy and is now gonna give people awards. Oh my God, interesting. We're gonna have to go to her Instagram stories and see if we can find more details about this. Okay, so Saturday evening we have an award ceremony for the women that get Freedom Queen Awards. Once you sign up, you'll be able to walk the stage and claim your award. So everyone gets an award? I'm confused. Sunday is VIP only. When you sign up for VIP, you will get access to Sunday's exclusive workshops where you'll be learning sales systems that create high recurring income. Tickets are flying, guys, so you better hurry. Just kidding, we already missed our chance. Okay, so it's happening in St. Petersburg, Florida. Some hotel. Here's everything you need to know. The gateway to your dream business and life. This isn't a conference. It's a, oh, she's just repeating herself. 4-day experience. This is a room of quality. This is a room where every single conversation that you will have will turn your business into a company that grows faster than most. I would love, excuse me, for a like real business owner, somebody outside of the online space or like in like e-commerce, for example, to go to this conference and tell me whether or not they actually made money. I'm just thinking, I'm literally imagining my boyfriend going to a conference like this and how much it would destroy him. He would be like, what the hell is this? I don't understand. For those of you that don't know, my boyfriend is in like the tech space, the startup space specifically. Very much different from this nonsense. Okay. Exactly. This sounds like spend big money to cosplay as a celebrity at an award show. Like in MLMs, when you go to like the MLM conference and if you've done a certain amount of sales, they let you walk across the stage. Then you feel like you're accomplishing something, but really your business is in the negative. That's the vibe it's giving me. Yeah, participation trophy. Everyone but the pores. Yes, yes, yes. Whoops. Okay. Yeah, this looks like a GeoCities website. So it wouldn't have actually looked like this just way back. Doesn't usually keep the formatting, but the content is the same. Yeah, I'll send him like a spy. That could be fun. Okay, I'm going to stop sharing my screen just for a sec while I try and see. I want to see if she has like highlights on her Instagram story that show. Okay, she does. It's just loading. I want to see if we can like see what the event was like. Okay, we got a whole ant trail, guys. Buckle up. Buckle up. Let's see. We're back. Okay, we can bring Bubba back on the screen. We'll just put him in a corner. Oh, he's so sleepy. So tired, little guy. Okay, so this is probably going to take 3 hours to get through. So buckle up, guys. Welcome, Rodney. Listening from work. That's what we love to see. We love to see people that are multitasking because the secret to getting rich is to be able to do 10 things simultaneously. So congratulations to you. Harrison says, I'm going to Freedom Queen 2025 with my allegedly in my opinion merch. I'm going to wear my I hate it here t-shirt. Oh, God, I love to see it. James says, St. Petersburg, too close to Scientology. I'm scared. We're believers of Christ here, according to this woman. So don't worry. Okay, let's see. In year 3, I got to walk the stage and claim my first million. Okay, yeah. So this is, I think, Holly, if you're still here, I think you know about this. Is it ClickFunnels that gives out the plaques? The like ones that look like a record? Somebody help. Okay, first million in 27 months, second million in 10 months. I'm so thankful that back in April of 2021, this scared me with a million excuses to say yes. I'm so thankful that 2022 me decided to go to the conference again, even though I felt like I didn't need to be there. I'm so thankful that 2023 me had the audacity to go for a million and then make another million. And now I'm giving you the opportunity to do the same. Introducing Freedom Queen Live 2024, the 4-day event to unlock the secrets to building a powerful empire that sets you free, creates wealth, and makes lasting mark on the world. September, blah, blah, blah. 60 of you are already in. It's not just a conference, it's your gateway to becoming the iconic leader of your multi-million-dollar business empire. Reply LEAP to this story and we will DM you the presale link. What if this was your so I took the leap moment? That day, that one day you look back and said, thank God you took the leap of faith for yourself.
Made me want to start my business. It was literally God.
Do we want to watch this promo video? What do you guys think? Let me know. Okay, so Holly says the 2 Comma Club, aka you hit $1 million in revenue, has to be earned on the ClickFunnels platform. Makes sense. Okay, let me know if we want to watch this promo video or we can just keep reading through the story slides. Kajabi has something similar and it doesn't all have to be earned on their platform and they give awards for smaller amounts. Gotcha. I'm pretty sure hers was the ClickFunnels thing. Just based on photos that I've seen. Okay, Suzanne says, please God, no. Okay, we will skip it. We'll just keep reading the slides. 60 of you are already in. Maria was one of the first people to buy her ticket. She bought her ticket last summer. That is commitment to the vision. Sarah is flying from Bali to attend. The greatest leap you'll ever take is the one where you leap for yourself and what you truly desire. I am where I am because I leap, and there's no surprise that the first ever Freedom Queen Live conference is on a leap year. The year that has no limits. The year that's record-breaking. Because it has one extra day, it's record-breaking? Does a leap year really all of a sudden mean that it has no limits because there's one extra day? I'm confused. 4 days of pure magic. The most intuitive woman just opened the pre-sale. Okay, this person is asking, is registration for the Tampa event still open? I live in Tampa and just saw the video about it. I need to be there. I want to be in a room full of people that inspire me to go bigger. Flying across the world to activate this energy feels exciting. I never bought anything from you, but it feels aligned. I'm in and bring someone. So exciting.
It makes it.
Make your work a masterpiece and making money will be the easiest thing you've ever done. Business has never felt hard to me because I see the full picture. People approach it like it's a one and done and then get confused when they lose their soul in it. Your job is to make your life a masterpiece, how you move, how you communicate, create incredible stories to share, gather wisdom, dream as big as you can. Do you even know who you are and what you're really capable of? Have you decided that you're playing someone else's game? This is just like quintessential word salad. Hey, ChatGPT, write me an inspirational message about how business is easy and you can do it too. That was the prompt she gave ChatGPT, allegedly. In my opinion. Why does this keep moving? Oh no. Sorry, I'm just being a little bit neurotic. Okay, there we go. What's happening? Just stumbled across this. You don't want to know. Don't know what's happening, and I've been here for the whole stream. Welcome. If you're new here, we are debunking life coaches, business coaches on the internet that are trying to steal all your money. So if you're interested in not getting scammed, stick around. Yes, the leap year, in fact, has a limit of 366 days. That is correct. Okay, and if you have made it this far into the stream and you're having a good time, please consider giving the stream a thumbs up. I really would appreciate it. Thank you so much. Okay. Oh God, I gotta turn the sound off. I'm gonna get copyrighted. Last month, I hosted a challenge where I showed how I'm taking the company to 200K cash months. Did I delay on that plan? Absolutely not. I'm not surprised by our numbers. $7,000 a day. Now I'm going to share some screenshots. Freedom Queen Live is the event of 2024. She's in and bringing her bestie. Hey, I'm super interested in your live event. It sounds so badass, and I can feel my future self nudging me to book the damn thing. I just wanted to know if there's any kind of estimate on how much the hotel rooms would be. I want to take my bestie and treat her to the whole experience, so I'm just trying to figure out how much that could be. Prerequisite for Freedom Queen Live is that you know you're meant for more and want to attend a conference that is really a concert mixed with soul and fire, mixed with making... Oh my God, what does this say? A conference that is really a concert mixed with soul on fire, mixed with make money, mixed with grow a mass movement and be in the room with hundreds of other women taking off. What is she saying? Can someone translate this? I'm so confused. I'm very, very, very confused. We're binging on word salad and trying to get rich. Welcome. Welcome to the Freedom Queen Live, when you move and the world responds. I started embodying her, and I see this woman talking about her live event in Tampa, and I'm thinking I would forking love to go to that. But I think everyone there is so far ahead of me. Blah, 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 blah. So some woman bought a ticket. We just got our venue. Wait, you were selling tickets before you had a venue? That sounds like a red flag. Welcome. I did a thing. I'm in. Our first round of tickets sold out. Our next round of tickets are for $497. $500. I guess for like a 4-day conference, that's not horrible, but what are you really going to learn? This will be the event of the year. I can't believe it's happening. Okay, I'm done with the promo. Let's get to the event. Did you document any of the event? Because this is like 24 weeks, 19 weeks, 17 weeks. And this would have happened like 4 weeks ago. Oh my God, so many. Okay, little bit of advice for anyone, more unsolicited advice. For those of you that use Instagram for business, never have your highlights have more than like 10 slides. Content that's old, delete it. Make it whatever is relevant for people to know and straight to the point. Because if I was actually someone interested in coming to this conference, I can guarantee you I'm not going to look at all frickin' 50 of these slides that she has here. Okay, so it's just people buying tickets. So exciting. Okay. Now I'm confused. Tickets open. This is 2 weeks ago. Okay, maybe I shouldn't have clicked. This is your season to big, bright, shine like a diamond. Freedom Queen Live 2.0. Okay, so she's hosting another one? Okay, this was 9 weeks ago, which was before the conference, and now this is 2 weeks ago. Tickets open today. Tickets are opening back up. BXB is partnering with Freedom Queen Live to bring the most insane experience to all ticket holders that will take you from Diamond on Earth to Diamond of the Season in your style and identity. Florida, here we come. We made it. Got safe through Milton and got to reschedule our flight so we can make it till the end of November in St. Pete. And we will make it to Freedom Queen Live 2.0. Okay, so they hosted an event in September and now they're hosting it in November? Or did it get rescheduled because of the hurricane? Tickets are open. Okay, interesting. See you at Freedom Queen Live. The tickets close tomorrow. Okay, I am so lost. Let's see.
Welcome.
Oh God, what is with this music?
Welcome to Freedom Queen Live. Welcome to Freedom Queen Live. I'm so freaking excited.
So last weekend I decided to do the scary. And we dropped Freedom Queen Live 2024 happening September in Florida, and people have already, it's over a year from today, purchased their tickets.
Manifesting Freedom 3-day course. Let's go. I am so excited to see you at Freedom Queen Live in this room here with us, getting to see you all in these seats is a dream come true. I cannot wait to see you here. I want you to enjoy the entire weekend. Have the time of your life. Say yes to yourself. There will never be another Freedom Queen Live again. Let's do this together. Let's make it happen.
Say manifest, you say freedom. Manifest. Manifest.
Guys, what the hell was that? Oh my god. No. He says the ground. What are they doing like this? Does this make me a freedom queen? Everyone take your hands and do this. The little imaginary crowns is a choice. It is a choice indeed. That was interesting. Also, the music was just too much. Oh no. I have secondhand embarrassment from watching that. My my heart is racing and I just got really super sweaty. Yeah, woof, pretty intense. Is this Transformers or scammers? TBD, honestly. Welcome, DC. Hello, hello. What did we just watch? Not really sure, but oof. I'm embarrassed for them. Okay. So I'm still confused. It's not clear. Maybe it's on her Instagram feed. What happened? Okay. 3 weeks. I'm so confused. So I'm guessing maybe it got canceled because of the hurricane. But I don't follow this woman, so I don't know. Let's see, that was October 5th. So this was September 25th, and the original one was supposed to be September 26th, right? It was on before, and now November has no idea what's coming. It's sudden energy, blah, blah, blah. It was 1:30 a.m. when I sent out the email that I didn't want to have to, because we're freedom queens and can brave it through any storm, and we still are. Okay, so it had to get canceled because of the storm. Imagine buying your flight. She said one of these people is coming from Bali, and then the day before they cancel it and say we're going to postpone it to November. What the heck? I would be pissed. Obviously it's not her fault that there was a hurricane, but okay, just changed our flights, coming tomorrow instead. Okay, so yeah, so this was September 24th, and it looks like they still hadn't canceled it yet. So they waited till the day before to cancel it. That is so awful. Because if I'm flying from Australia, Bali, wherever, that's a multiple day flight. And I'm probably already on my way. Yikes. Yeah, so true. Harrison says, Danielle, this is what people think your channel membership video is actually. If you have not seen my membership promo video, just tap that join button down below. You don't have to join the membership. I just want you to watch the promo video, because there are people who will watch that video and think that I'm being serious. And I think the reason they think I'm being serious is because of videos like the one we just watched. Okay, so the event has yet to happen. It's going to happen in about 3 weeks. Maybe we'll cover it once it happens. I just want to see what's happening, what's going on. I should put it in my calendar so I remember to look. Okay, so then same thing is happening, blah, 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 blah. So this is what the website was supposed to look like for those of you that saw it on the Wayback Machine. And then these are the speakers. So we got a few different people. Some of these people are clients of hers, I believe. Wow, this girl looks a lot like the other girl. Anyway, come as a coach, leave as a movement maker, and then, yeah, all the events are the same. Looks like we messed up on the Canva graphic. We forgot to input our photo here. So that's fun. And let's see. So if I want general admission, oh. General admission is $700. VIP is $1,300 US. So that's like $2,000. Oh my God. That's so crazy. Can you imagine? For a 4-day conference? Yikes. Absolutely not. Absolutely not for me. Exactly. Suzanne says, I would have literally been on the way when this got canceled. That's what I'm saying. Like, if I was flying Australia to Florida, that's like a 24-hour trip because you usually have to have like a layover somewhere and then continue on. So for you to wait until the 25th when the concert starts on the conference starts on the 26th, like, that's just rude. Especially if you knew the hurricane was coming. Yeah, they forgot to put their graphic and still uploaded it. That, and like, wouldn't the web designer be like, hey, lady, you forgot to send the right graphic? Like, somebody at some stage of the process would have noticed that it was wrong, right? Tell me you don't care without telling me you don't care. Sean says, please cover it. Maybe that can be part of the 12 Days of Coachmas. Sean and I were discussing this in the DMs on Instagram. Let me know, for those of you that were here last year, should we bring back the 12 Days of Coachmas? Let me know. Dan says, I'd rather spend that time in prison. Oh, boy. Ah, yes, welcome. You're just in time to become a gazillionaire, so we're happy that you made it. Oh, we're all just cringing here together collectively. Okay, so now that we kind of know what's going on, we understand what this event is. I also like that, like, there's no description of who these people are. Like, I can't even click on the image to, like, get who is Becca Pike? Who is Katie Elliott? Like, who are these people? Guess we'll never know. Let's go back to the podcast. There was one more episode that had been requested in the chat. This We're in a Portal. So we'll listen to that, and then maybe we should have time for at least one more. Claire, I think you're right. Claire says canceling it early would be manifesting the hurricane. So instead, we're just going to manifest everyone losing lots of money by having to take flights that they don't want to take. You got to cover the cost of those paper mache crowns. You mean my finger crown? I am rich. If I do this, I will be rich. So dumb. 12 Days of Coachmas is coming back. Yes, that's how I found you. I can't believe it's been a year. Okay. Start sending me ideas. The worst part, I love the 12 Days of Coachmas, but the worst part is having to come up with 12 ideas. But Freedom Queen Live could absolutely be a topic of discussion. So that's no problem. All right, let's get back into this beautiful, wonderful podcast with the next episode titled We Are in a Portal.
We are less than 2 weeks out from Freedom Queen Live, the event of the year, the event of the century, the room everyone's going to be in.
And remember, it never actually happened.
We have less than 100 tickets left. I have to check at the totals here. Tickets are flying. I mean, flying. In the last 3 days, we've had, I can pull up the numbers right now on my computer, something crazy in terms of numbers and people just literally moving mountains to be in this room. People have legitimately moved mountains. So oh no, that's earlier. Here we go. Where is the number? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29.
Could we not have done this before we hit record? Like, if I'm going to make a YouTube video bragging about how much money I've made in ticket sales for this imaginary conference that I'm never going to host, would I not have looked at my accounting software before I hit record and figured out how much money I made? Like, come on. I don't need to sit here and listen to you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Great, you can count. Gold star for you. Whatever the hell they do.
30 people in the last 4 days. Wow. That is amazing. And it's amazing. It's actually less than 4 days. We'll just say 4 days, because we hit a record in July where 40 people bought in 7 days. So to see how people are moving, but this is a testament of Freedom Queen. This is what I've been building since day one. This is how I have created Freedom Queen. I go first. I do something like no one else is doing this in the online space. No one else is putting on an event of this caliber. This event is an event where you are getting access to multiple millions. This is Freedom Queen. This is movement. I'm queen of movements. Like, I coined that name in the online space and brought it forward in 2021. And this is proof of when you really go for it, it actually happens for you. And I think you listening to this, you actually need to go for something bigger. You need a deadline. You need to set a time when you're going to do your achievements and you have no other choice but to do them. I said to a client this week, I said, diamonds are made under pressure. Diamonds are made under pressure. Some of you have goals. You're like, oh, it'll happen by December. December? What if the world ends in December? Do it now. 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 That's my team and I's motto. Do it now. So it's like, why wait? Why not hit that goal that you want to hit in December? Hit it now. I'm not over here like, oh, I'm going to do $1 million in December. I'm like, no, I'm going to do $1 million in September. I'm going to do it.
Okay, but when we're not operating our businesses from a place of delusion, we would probably recognize that's not really how things work. Again, I can understand what other people are doing. I can understand what is potentially possible for me. But just because I decide that I want to make $10,000 doesn't mean that therefore I'm going to make $10,000. Just because you believe does not mean that it's actually going to happen. Does it mean it's not going to happen? No, it could happen. But I'm just saying your choice to make $1 million in September doesn't automatically mean that you're going to make $1 million in September. I don't know why so many, and this isn't like unique to this woman, so many of these coaches want to make it sound like it is that easy. Like, I posted an Instagram reel this morning, some of you may have seen it, which is clipped from my most recent YouTube video, where this woman tells a story of how she makes $10,000 whenever she decides to make $10,000. And I'm just like, that's literally not how it works, because everyone in the world would obviously decide that they're going to make $10,000 if that's how they wanted. Like, why would I have a job if I could just decide that I was going to make money? It doesn't make any sense. Okay, Holly says, Coach Wiss idea, breaking down popular copywriting tactics. I can help. I've always wanted to write you something about what I learned in my certification. Let's do it. We could do it as like an interview, or you can just get on a call with me and consult me in what I should talk about. DM me. Let's set it up. I got to write down some of this stuff, so just give me a second, guys. Okay, Freedom Queen Live. What else did we say? Let me scroll up here a little bit. DC said Ed Milet. Yeah, I think just MLM coaches in general. I know I've done a couple videos about that, but there's a never-ending supply of content, it seems. Suzanne said she's going to message me. Perfect. Okay. Danielle Soul leaving her body every time she says, do it now, at 20 times speed. 100%. DC says, lick the stream. It tastes like overpriced coaching packages. Tasty. Why stop at 10,000 when you could decide to make 10 million? You know what? Silly me for thinking so small. Mind Valley. Mind Valley is like the #1 advertiser on my videos. So let me just say thank you to Mind Valley for paying my bills this month. I'm just kidding. 12 red flags your coach guru is deluded. The 12 red flags checklist for coaching scams. The free webinar follow-up sequence. Okay, you're reading my mind because I wrote a script for a okay, if you don't follow me on Instagram, sorry, aside. If you don't follow me on Instagram, I do a lot of like short skits on there where I make fun of guru boss babes. And one of the most recent scripts I wrote is about if Girl Boss Masterclass webinars were being honest. So I just find it funny that you mentioned that. Okay, I'll get back to the episode. I'm going to write these down while we listen. Okay, sorry for the side tangent, folks. I get distracted very easily.
Now. I'm going to make it happen. The time is now. And you're giving yourself so many wishy-washy deadlines, like, oh, December, or, oh, you'll start next year, oh, you'll do it tomorrow, or, oh, next month. That is such a dangerous place to be. That's the devil's place. The devil loves the waiting zone, where you're waiting for it to happen. And it shows up by little ways. You're like, oh, I'll wait to raise the prices. Oh, I'll wait to invest. Oh, blame it on your husband. Oh, somebody's telling you can't. Oh, blame it on somebody else. Blame it on your last coach. Blame it on everyone else except for you. Except for you taking ownership of your life. Everything is your fault. You are where you are today because of you. And if you want to get to where you want to be, you have to make a move.
This is like classic skirting responsibility and using the narrative of like bad investments are your problem. You didn't get what you paid for. That's your fault. You. Thank you so much, Clifford. Welcome.
Now you are one of us.
One of us. One of us.
I really just don't like this conversation around, and yes, I understand. We do play a role in the choices we make, and we are responsible for whether or not we do or don't do something. Just when we make it one extreme or the other, to me, that's when it gets really icky.
That's going to change your entire life. You have to make a move that's going to shift you into that next level version of yourself. Because if you don't make a move, you're going to stay where you are. If you don't make your move, you're going to keep staying where you are. You're going to keep in these same cycles. But if you make a move that's different, one that's new, one that shakes you alive. Someone who's coming to Freedom Queen Live, she said, my life has literally been shaken. And Freedom Queen Live hasn't even happened yet. She's like, I've been wanting to feel this feeling for so long, this aliveness, this feeling, this intensity of like, you're doing it. But you have to keep playing on those edges. You have to keep growing and evolving. You get paid to evolve. This is something I say in Freedom Queen all the time. You get paid to evolve. So are you going to let yourself evolve? Are you going to let yourself go to the next level inside of your life? For those of you that haven't yet got your tickets to Freedom Queen Live, make sure that you get your ticket because we are 2 weeks from today. Will be September 28th.
Blah, 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 blah. Okay, once again, we learned nothing. So I'm really sorry to waste another 5 minutes of everyone's life. Okay, I think we have time for one more podcast. I'm just going to do a quick scroll here and see if there's anything exciting that we missed. Miracle moments from Paris. Give yourself the desires. Going from 0 to 1 million. That one's 30 minutes long though. We might have to save that for another day. What is the great shift? Okay, let's find out together. Where is this one? Can I? Okay, a great shift is coming. Let's give it a go.
Welcome to the podcast. This is going to be a event horizon podcast. So what I mean by that is there's going to be a you before this podcast episode and a you after, because I am creating something brand new in the business coaching podcast, and it's actually starting on November.
Again, why are we recording in like an empty room? Use sound isolation. If you leave this stream learning one thing, it's that in post production of your podcast, your YouTube videos, whatever it is, click the little box that says voice isolation or sound isolation. It will get rid of the shitty echoing sounds. Okay? You're welcome.
November 1st, and you get to be a part of the entire experience. So, are you ready for this? Starting on November 1st, we are actually, for the first time in Freedom Queen history, we are changing the name of the podcast. We're getting new branding, and we are doing a Freedom Queen podcast challenge in the month of November. And it's going to be all about showing up no matter what. So in the podcast in November, I'm going to be dropping episodes that activate you, that help you shift gears, that help you fly at speeds that you are actually meant to fly at. Because I'm at this point in my business where I am ready for multi-million-dollar months. I'm going to different speeds than I ever have before. And I want to take you on this journey with me in the podcast. So beginning on November 1st, we're going to start a podcast challenge. That's a week from now, where from November 1st to November 18th, I'm going to be dropping episodes. And you're going to share them, review them, plug in daily, because the more plugged in you are, the more money you make. I hear this a lot from clients that work with me. They're like, the more plugged in I am in your mentorship, the more money I make.
Yeah, silly me for thinking that she edits this at all. I can definitely tell by the mouth smacking that there's no editing going on here. Meanwhile, me editing every YouTube video, cutting out every single breath that I take. Help.
And so I'm giving you this opportunity coming up on November 1st of 2024. Oh, that feels like an iconic day. To plug in. And from November 1st to November 18th, during the challenge, when you share the episodes, you review it, and I'll walk you through.
I also can't get over the fact that this video is playing at 1.5 speed, and she's talking regular speed, in my opinion.
The whole challenge starting on November 1st. But when you share episodes, you get a point. When you review the episodes, you get multiple points. One person is going to win a ticket to Freedom Queen Live.
Okay, guys, we're starting our own challenge here on the YouTube channel. For every time you thumbs up the video, you get a point. And every comment you leave, you get a point. And the person with the most points at the end of the month is going to be a millionaire, because I get to decide who's rich and who's not. And so just thumbs up the stream and leave a comment, and I will give you, I'll tally your points right here on this paper that I have. And you might be able to be rich by December. So if you're looking to make a little extra Christmas cash, that's how you're going to do it. Okay. Participate in my challenge. It's called the thumbs up the video and comment challenge. Tell all your friends.
And if you already have a ticket to Freedom Queen Live, then you'll be able to gift this ticket maybe to a best friend, a client, a mentor, a woman that you know needs.
And if you're already a millionaire, you'll be able to gift the $1 million that I'm going to give you to a friend, a colleague, a mentor, whoever wants to come hang out on my YouTube channel.
Needs to be at the event that has already made history and will explode your business and your life forever and ever. And so starting on November 1st, we're going to begin this challenge. It's just happening in the podcast.
Oh, Harrison gets 2 points for his super chat. It says, how many points is this worth? 2. So you're now at 4 points. Everyone else, you guys are losers and you only have 2 points. So it looks like Harrison is double as close as you guys to winning the $1 million prize. But don't worry, you have until the end of November to participate. So if you're catching the replay, you can just give it a thumbs up.
Doing new branding, a new podcast name, and you get to be a part of the No Matter What November happening on the podcast. And so you'll be sharing it, reviewing it. And I want
No Matter What November. That's what we're calling it. No matter what November, you cancel all your plans and show up to my live stream. Do you understand the rules, guys? Do you understand?
You to make sure that you are inside of our Facebook group, because we're going to have a thread there in the Facebook group. And all you have to do is every single time you share the episodes, you review it, you screenshot it, and you just comment it on the thread. And then each time you comment, you get another entry to come to Freedom Queen Live. And so make sure that you do that so we can track all of your entries to win the prize. Now, why am I doing this? Why am I changing the name? Why am I shifting the branding? Well, one thing is that I've had this podcast since early 2022. And that was a really pivotal time for me because I had decided to play bigger in my business and in my life. And in the moment, it didn't really look like that. In the moment when we first launched this podcast, it was just, let's launch this podcast because that sounds fun. And that's really how I built my entire business. That sounds fun. Let's do that. Oh my gosh, that sounds awesome. Let's do that. And when I'm thinking about end of 2024, and I know that you are going into an awakening season, you're going into a season of growth that you've never experienced before. How do I know this? Well, I know.
No. Maria's asking if I'm going to send a $1 million check. Instead, what I'm going to do is I am the ultimate master manifester. So if you are feeling hungry, sorry, I just read Pablo's message while I was talking. If you thumbs up the stream and leave a comment, I will manifest $1 million and send it to you. That's what's going to happen. Like, I'm not actually going to send it to you. I'm going to manifest that you get $1 million, but I'm only going to manifest that for the person that comments the most and gives the most thumbs ups. And that's the secret. But Harrison already has 4 points and the rest of you only have 2. So, oh, just kidding. Somebody else just took the lead because Three Flamingos now has 3 points plus the other 2. That's 5 points. I'm going to need to start a leaderboard because a lot of people are at 2 points. And then we got one person at 4 points and then one person at 5 points. And there are still 26 days left to have your chance to win the $1 million. Pablo's asking, are you hungry? Do you want food? Yes. I have to go get a haircut, so we got to order this food soon so we can pick it up when I'm done yapping. Thank you so much. Have a good day. You can't put a price on a good manifest. That's what I'm saying, guys. The likes and the comments are really what's going to help me be able to launch my new course coming soon to teach you how to manifest like me so we can all be rich. Not just me being rich. All of us are rich, okay?
A thing or two. I know things. I sense things, and I always have. And you're going into a really big awakening season that is bigger than you ever have gone into before. I know this. And so whenever I feel a pull to do something, I listen to it. I don't wait. I don't delay. I don't ignore the signals. I move. I execute very quickly. And so as soon as I got this download to make this shift, immediate communication went to the team. We're getting our graphic redesigned.
Harrison says, auction your way to $1 million. I do want to make this one thing very clear, though.
It's not a pyramid scheme. It's not even a scheme per se.
This is not a pyramid scheme. This is not a scheme.
It sounds like a get-rich-quick scheme.
Yes, thank you. You will get rich quick. We all will.
We're all going to get rich. That's the secret that I want you to take away from this.
I started moving at lightning speed, which is what I teach everyone to do inside of Freedom Queen. The faster you move, the faster the result. So I want this to be a season.
Pablo should get extra points for getting you food. That is correct. Actually, the sandwich he's going to bring me is about $6. So that's 6 points plus the thumbs up plus his comment. He's at 8 points, guys. So you got some stuff to pick up.
Season for you going into the rebrand of the podcast. I want this to be an awakening season for you, where maybe you change some things in your own business. Maybe you're changing your podcast. Surprisingly enough, I have a lot of clients that are...
I find it so hard to listen to this, because the echo is so bad. It's making it really hard for me to focus. Can someone give me the Cliff Notes version of what's going on here?
Changing their own podcast. I see a lot of people on the internet saying, November, they're redoing their podcast. I don't know what it is. It's the hive mind. It's the hive effect where everyone thinks the same thing at the same time. And so I want this to be a moment for you where maybe you think about your own podcast or your own business, your Instagram account, whatever it is, and you make a change that's going to forever change the trajectory of your business. So just like when I launched this podcast, I knew it was going to change the trajectory of my business, but I also just did it because I knew. And it's the same thing for this rebrand of this podcast. I knew this was going to change the trajectory of my business, but also I just want to have some fun and change it because I want to. So what are some things that you want to change about your business? What are some things that you want to shift inside of it? You want to change the look of your feed. You want to change how you sell. Do you want to change your podcast? You want to change how you email. Allow yourself to evolve and you will get paid. So what I want you to do is, number one, get ready for the new podcast launch. It will start November 1st. In the show notes, I'm going to include a link to our Facebook group, and there's going to be a thread in the Facebook group. And in that thread, starting on November 1st, in no matter what November, every single time you share an episode, you get a point. When you review the podcast episode, you get 5 points. Now make sure that you screenshot them, You comment them on the Facebook group podcast thread, and that will get you an entry. And you can share any episode. It doesn't have to be the episodes that are only in November. It can be any episode that exists on this podcast.
This reminds me of back when I used to be a life coach. My coach taught me, this is something I did, I'm fully admitting to my past silliness. Under the guidance of my coach, I used to send people $5 Starbucks gift cards in exchange for leaving me a 5-star review on iTunes. I'm outing myself. A lot of people do this. A lot of people buy reviews. Anyway, I'm just saying that's the same vibes this is giving me, because like, leave me a 5-star review and send me a screenshot and I'll give you 5 points to my imaginary giveaway.
I'm so excited. I'm excited for you to watch me go to $1 million months. I'm excited for you to change your own business. I'm excited for you to step into your next level of growth and expansion. I am excited for you to become the Freedom Queen. Okay, I will see you in No Matter What November. I'll probably upload a couple episodes before then. I just got back from a VIP weekend with a client in Paris. And then Robbie and I did a insane trip to Italy. So I'm going to upload some episodes on that. And then you know the drill. On November 1st, we start No Matter What November podcast.
Ugh, okay. We're done. We're done with that echoey nonsense. My ears are like bleeding. Okay, is this even legal? I'm not actually sure. I don't know that there's rules against it. I think it's legal because like you're not really, I guess, but you're buying reviews. But I think because like podcasts are so low stakes, I think it would be questionable if you were using it to like sell something. Like I have a $5 bookkeeping template that I sell and I have reviews listed on the sales page. I think if I was paying for those reviews, like, hey, DC, can you write me a 5-star review for this template? And then I paid her $5 to be able to post it. I think that would be illegal. But because a podcast is like a free thing, I don't think it is illegal, but I could be wrong. Isn't this illegal in the new law that just came? I'm not sure because, again, like a podcast, you're not paying for anything. If you're selling a product and using fake testimonials, yes, that's illegal. But if it's just like a podcast, I don't think so. Jessie Lee used to do the same thing. Yeah. I think it's fairly common practice. Like I learned it from my coach who had learned it from her coach. I've also listened to other podcasts where they say, email us a screenshot of your 5-star review and we'll give you a gift card. So like, I think it's pretty common practice, but again, I don't know the legalities of it. If anyone wants to look that up and let me know. But yeah, this is just like a whole other thing. That's got some complicated loops to get an entry to win absolutely nothing. You win you might win a ticket to her $700 conference, okay? I guess if I was like into this kind of content and really desperately wanted to go but didn't have any money, honestly, I'd probably do all these things she asked me to do too. I'd be sending all the screenshots. I want to save $700, baby. Literally feel like throwing up every time I hear her say $1 million months. Me and my partner collectively make over $1 million a month. Gross. That's before deductions, because we're not going to talk about how much money I take home, because it's actually really not very much money at all. I feel like she should end her podcast with Freedom Queens Unite. Stay tuned for the Freedom Queen Live review coming to Coachmas, the 12 Days of Coachmas. Send me your 12 Days of Coachmas content ideas. You can submit content to react to in the forum down below. I would appreciate it. We'll review the Canadian Business Builder for a $3 Tim Hortons gift card. All right, send me your bank account info and I will email that right over to you. Okay, friends, that's going to be it today. If I haven't said it yet today, I just want you all to know that I hate it here, and I hope you do too. If you had a bad time, give the stream a thumbs up. If you had a good time, give the stream a thumbs up. Or give it a thumbs down. Honestly, I don't really care. I hope you enjoyed. I have a really exciting interview coming out in a couple of days. I had a wonderful conversation with a therapist who works specifically with clients who've been traumatized by coaches practicing outside of scope. So I think you're really going to like it. other content in the works. As always, take care, comb your hair, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Okay, bye.